This is social distancing with Piers Linney here in my home studio. Becoming a bit of a man cave. So what a night. It was interesting. I'm a bit of a history bore. If you look at my Twitter feed, you'll see my Your Country Needs You, Lord Kitchener, the reuse of that famous image. And it was interesting last night watching Boris Johnson when he announced the lockdown. And you imagine what it was like during the war, huddling around a radio, listening to the Prime Minister making similar pronouncements. So, I mean, it's a massive. It's although I've sort of said this should happen for some time. It's quite interesting thinking about that. And I didn't sleep much last night. I was kind of thinking about what it means and what I should do and the various other things I'm involved in, how it's going to impact that, family, friends. It's crazy. So I have sort of decided to try and make these videos as often as I can. Try and do one a day or one every few days. I might change the name. It might become Lockdown with Piers Linney, if you can imagine that for a minute. So this one I'm going to try and do three things typically. This one I'm going to talk about the lockdown, what it really means to stay at home and what you should be doing while you're staying at home. I'm going to try and link these to business if I can. So bear with me in some cases, but I'll get there in the end in terms of how it does relate to business and maybe starting a business or how you try and save your business or mothball your business or even rebuild a business post the pandemic, because as I will keep saying, it will come to an end. So the key thing is to stay at home. So my mum was a nurse in the NHS for many years. She worked in a children's burns unit. She was a health visitor. She was a maternity nurse as well, a midwife. And my cousin actually is a respiratory consultant in the NHS. So she's actually working on a COVID ward. And it's just really important you understand that staying at home is not really about you. Again, look at my Twitter post about the NHS. It's about your real social network. And your real social network is not people that are connected on LinkedIn. It's not people that you hope to give you a like on whatever social media platform you happen to like. The real social network actually is society. It's the people around you. It's your neighbours. It's your community. And it's these health workers that have to go to work every day, taking a massive personal risk at the end of the day to try and improve all of our collective lives and to get us back on track. So think about that. Think about really locking yourself down and staying away from people. It might be difficult if you're in a relationship, but it's just something you have to do for 3 weeks. It's probably going to be longer, but something we're going to have to live with. So number two is, and this is something I've been thinking about, is when you're staying at home, what the hell do you do? I mean, some of you might be working. Luckily, technology now, you've probably seen Zoom share price and companies like Citrix. These are the companies that actually help you work from home. The companies haven't actually got themselves into a state where their workforce can work from home. If it's that kind of workforce, clearly, if you're a forklift truck driver, it's not going to help you. If they haven't got themselves into that state, they need to really start thinking about it. So a big opportunity there in IT and communications going down the road. So what do you do? Now, one thing about if you're thinking about running a business or building a business, and even personally, I think, and you can go and look at people like David Goggins. I'll put a link in the description, who's at the extreme of this. But you'll see in most successful people, especially people in business, is that they have some kind of routine, and discipline is really important. It's not always the case. Some people are pretty wild and wacky and they succeed, but quite often you'll find that people have routine and discipline. And if you're at home, if you're working from home, if you're stuck at home, if you're at home and you're not really working, yes, there's a huge amount to worry about in terms of your personal finances, your family, your health, your well-being, maybe your business, maybe your job even. But you're at home, and I'll keep saying that there's no point sometimes worrying continuously about something you can't do anything about. So you're at home, what do you do with your time? And what I would do, what I've been trying to do, I've got some training bike and a running machine and kind of a gym. So I move that stuff where it's more accessible for me. And I'm trying to sort of get up early, have that shower, brush your hair, get dressed, get into a routine so you feel like you're actually up and ready for action. Get some exercise, whether that's, with the kids watching Joe Wicks or whether it's you just doing some push-ups, some scissor kicks, a bit of running, just move. And, you got to be careful what you eat. If you're not moving much, you're going to take your one walk a day that you're allowed. If you're not moving much, then you're not burning a lot of calories. So think about very basic stuff. Calories in, calories out. So got my Fitbit on. I'm measuring calories in especially. And I'm trying to make sure there's more calories going out at the moment. So think about your physical health. That's going to help you with your mental health as well, because this is going to be a trying time for lots of people. So get into a routine. Get up, get dressed, get some exercise, think about what you're going to eat. And then over the next 3 weeks, you can actually, this is at least 3 weeks, is try and work within a routine and try and instill some discipline in yourself. This can be quite difficult, but it's something that really works, especially when you're trying to build a business and you've got lots of sort of demands on your time that you need to manage and juggle. And it's quite important. So just try it, and it'll be hard at first if you've never done it before. Now you probably forget that if you get on, if you get on a bus or a car or a bike or a tube and go to work, then you have a routine. But what that really is a hamster wheel. So the third point I'm going to touch upon in this video is about the hamster wheel. For many of us has ground to a halt. So what that means is you've got a period of time which you're likely, especially because hopefully if there's another pandemic, they'll sort out the response, make it more effective and faster than this one was across the world, is you're unlikely to have an opportunity like this again for some period of time, hopefully for your whole life. So you've got a hiatus. And I don't mean everybody, some of you are working, but you can kind of, the wheels kind of slow down in a way and that wheel stop turning. So step out of it, I think, and kind of reassess where you are. What do you do? How do you do it? Do you like doing it? Well, what do you want to do? What are you passionate about? What could you also do on the side? I'm not into the phrase side hustle really, but if you've got a job, it's now time to potentially, do some research and talk to people, clearly over a video conference or the phone or messaging, but talk to people about things that matter to you, something you might want to do post the pandemic. And one option is, I'm not saying everyone should sit there and think about starting a business. That's not for everybody. But just think about, your current job. Are you in the right job? Are you going in the right direction? Is there a glass ceiling? Is there an ability, a possibility to get promoted to earn more income? Have you got a hobby? Do you need to have a hobby? Do you need to learn a new hobby? Do you need to start learning a language? It doesn't matter. Just do something. In this time you've got, is use it wisely, because it's highly unlikely to come around again. So 3 things there for this video. One is, we're locked down, stay at home. It's not about you, it's about the people around you. It's about people in hospital, working in them and getting ill and taking up those hospital beds. That's really important. We're at home now, so you've got to stay at home, get into a routine, try and instill some discipline. Just try it. Just try and do a similar thing for a period of time and see if that works for you. And if you carry that into life post the pandemic, you find that it makes a difference. And the last one really is that try and reassess life, what you do, how you do it, even your relationships, because now you're going to have to spend time with people. I'm spending time with my partner and I'm probably going to drive her insane, but I'm spending time with people and you're talking to people and perhaps having conversations, quite deep conversations that you have never had before. So think about that. Step off the hamster wheel and take the time out to reassess who you are and what you can get out of life generally.